Hi, and welcome to the second part of our Jin Kazama Breakdown. In this video, we'll be analyzing his top moves. Forward 4 is a key move in Jin's ability to control the mid-range. This is a safe, fast mid with massive range that also converts to a combo on counter hit. Be careful though, as it is vulnerable on whiff and sidestep right. Forward 4 is another strong option to consider in the Electric Wind Hook Fist flowchart. At 16 frames, it loses to jabs, but trades favorably with Magic 4, and will counter-hit anything slower. Due to its range, this is hard to backdash, but it is possible. It's also vulnerable to sidestep right, Power Crush, and Rage Art. Forward 4 used to hit grounded from certain angles in previous Tekkens, but this was deemed perhaps a bit too excessive for Tekken 7 and has been removed. If you want to adopt a more defensive approach, just use this move by itself to stay at range. But if you want to go in, you can cancel this into his crouching demon stance by holding forward. From here, you have several options, but the best is to quickly tap down forward and then back to cancel into a crouch dash, then back into standing guard. This makes the forward 4 completely safe. Jin can also try to perform his demon stance moves. However, a ready opponent can beat every single option with a simple down forward 1, so it is imperative not to be predictable using moves from stance. Parry. Jin's parry operates quite differently from other counter-type moves in the game. On successfully parrying an opponent's move, instead of launching into a pre-canned sequence of hits, the move will instead simply pass through. As a result, it is best used as a highly unconventional keep-out tool to stop opponents from pestering him with safe long-range mids. Coincidentally, the very thing that Jin excels at. For example, against Jin Forward 4, Steve Albatross 2, Brian Forward 4, or 3 and 4, Lee Forward 3, Lars Forward 1 and 2, and so on. These all turn from being safe to launch punishable. This also applies to normally plus on block running 3s and running 2s. Jin can also turn most powerful plus on block mids into launch opportunities with his parry. Good examples are Law Dragonhammer, Brian Back 1, and Jin Forward 4. However, you can't always launch after parrying such mids. For example, Dragunov Back 1 and 2, and Horang Forward 4, in which case you'll have to use Jin's 10 or 12 frame punishes. Some will merely net you plus frames. One unique attribute about Jin's parry is that it also works against knees and elbows, which are usually unparryable. As with all parries, it leaves Jin wide open, and can be a considerable risk. However, if you have scoped out some tendencies on a predictable opponent, the risk-reward is in Jin's favor. By the way, don't bother trying to parry Electric Wind Godfist unless you're just going for style points. It's too fast, too risky, and you only get jabs in return. Jin's down forward 1 string has long been a staple of the character's powerful poking ability. Down forward 1-4 is a high, mid, natural combo that deals good damage and wall splats. The main difference in Tekken 7 is that the 4 does a spin around animation, which leaves Jin at a big advantage, but at about a backdash distance away. This means that if you try to pressure the opponent with a low, they can easily backdash and whiff punish. However, a forward 4 cannot be interrupted with jabs, power crushes, sidestepped, or backdashed. So it is an effective lockdown option. This string doesn't jail, so if the opponent sees down forward 1, they may try to duck the high for a launch punish. In this case, try throwing multiple down forward 1s out. The 4-4 extension ends in a safe, uninterruptible comboing mid. However, it is very linear, and if predicted, can be easily stepped and launched. 2-1-4. Jin's infamous jab string has been one of his top moves since Tekken 4. Simply put, this move is amazing. Being high mid makes it very safe for a jab string, and good at stopping while standing 2 shenanigans, guaranteeing the 4 extension on counter hit. It is 10 frames, meaning you can poke and bait out power crushes. For a jab string, it has pretty good tracking, which means it's very hard to sidestep and punish him. 2-1 on hit is +6, so an instant electric wind hook fist will beat any move that isn't a high crush or power crush. And forward 4 will also trade with jabs. Note, this doesn't mean he can't get the combo. On the offense, this is one of his best moves. Electric wing hook fist, down back 4, forward 4, forward 4 3, whilst all incredible moves, suffer from the same drawback. They are counter hit bait. 2-1 doesn't have this issue, so you can mix up 2-1 with these moves to score easy taps and force them to block and then start your guessing games. On block, this move is -3, meaning a follow-up 2-1 will lose to jabs and magic 4s and trade with down forward 1. However, you can still comfortably step after. If your opponents love to jab after 2-1, simply end the string with 2-1-4 and scare them away from retaliating. Do note that should you fish for this and delay it, this can be stepped and launched very easily. The 4-4 low extension is seeable, launch punishable on block, and doesn't even guarantee a combo anymore. Not recommended. Up forward 2. Jin takes a small step to the left while attacking. A very strong tool in his poking game. Sequences like down forward 1 to up forward 2 are very powerful, especially against opponents who continually pressure with down forward 1, like Lee, Nina, or Shaheen. On counter hit, this will knock the opponent down. While standing 2. Jin's while standing 2 is particularly good since it's a fast, while standing launcher that is only slightly punishable on block at -12, meaning you can sometimes throw it out predictively against highs without too much risk. Down 4. This low is negative on hit and behaves the same on counter hit, however it is very fast, tracks well, and goes under jabs. Useful to quickly slip some damage in, or when at a minor disadvantage and you feel the opponent may jab you. Down back 4. Whilst not much of a power low like Hell Sweep or Demolition Man, down back 4 is a low with good range that gives a decent advantage on hit and combos on counter hit. Whilst it is punishable on block and can be stepped to the right, if applied correctly with wave dash timing mix-ups, it can be tricky to step. Down back 4 is +3 on hit, so here are your options afterwards. 2-1 will beat all moves other than a high crush. This includes Power Crush and Rage Arts, since it will connect before the armor activates. It's also quite hard to sidestep to the right, which is generally Jin's weak side. However, it can be easily stepped to the left. It's also vulnerable to high crush moves, and if the down back 4 connected on the tip, can be easily backdashed. Down forward 1-4 will beat out players that want to duck. It also beats sidestep right, which is Jin's weak side, and is also very hard to step to the left. It will trade with jabs, and is beaten by Rage Art and Power Crush. Standing 4. Many players are going to try to step Jin's pressure, and this move will deal with this. It will also counter-hit any standing move slower than a jab for a combo. As with down forward 1, it will lose to Rage Art and Power Crush and trade with jabs. However, the trade is very much in Jin's favor. And as with 2-1, it can be high crushed or ducked, and is vulnerable to backdashes if down back 4 hit on the tip. Down back 4. If the opponent turtles up, then continue to pressure and chip away at their health with repeated down back 4s. This is vulnerable to any move faster than 13 frames, however, as well as low crushes and crouching, and also sidestep right. So, as ever, be sure to mix up all your options after down back 4 on hit to keep the opponent guessing. Thank you for watching part 2 of our Jin Kazama Breakdown. On the next episode, we'll be covering his situational moves. Sorry this took a little longer to create than expected. I'm pretty buried with work until mid-August, and this was also the first video I worked collaboratively with our second video editor, Mr. Dan Sylvia, so a huge shout out to him. We're still figuring out the most efficient way to split up the work, so for now we ask for your patience. Thank you again for watching, take care, and see you next time.